We got a lot to cover here today, so we really appreciate it. Wanted to say a big thank you to All Coast Restoration and Resources. They just did a great lunch and learn. Provided lunch for all of our agents and gave us some really valuable information. So if you're here, thanks for joining us. If you weren't, I highly encourage you to come in next time. There was a lot of good stuff throughout that presentation. All right. Gratitude moments and wins of the week. Does anybody have anything you'd like to share? Any special gratitude? Go right ahead.
I want to give a shout out to Emily Holmes. She was in here on Sunday when I ran in before my open house to print some flyers, and I couldn't connect to the printer and print, and I emailed them to her and she printed them all out for me and she saved my butt. So shout out to her.
Anyone else have anything?
Just somewhat unexpected. Nicole, is the seat next to you open?
Yes.
Ruben, come take the seat next to Nicole. She won't bite.
Won't bite. Hard. Not
So,
There's still more coming in.
a couple weeks ago, wow, where the hell was I going? Ruben, do you remember where I was going? I don't remember where I was going. But I got in an Uber, and Ruben was my driver, and we were talking. It was just a weird for me conversation. We had an agent with us many years ago who Ruben was married to. And unfortunately, her name's Rosemary, and she passed away a few years ago. And we knew each other back then. He knew Robert back then. It was at least 10, if not 15 years ago that you guys were with us. But we both look a lot different with that much time gone by. And I didn't know Rosemary had passed. So in talking to your Uber driver, sometimes you can make a good connection or reconnection. And at this stage in his life, he's thinking about maybe getting back in the real estate world. So I said, well, come join us again, see what's going on. So welcome to Ruben. The gratitude would be, number one, thank you for being as transparent and vulnerable as you were with me, not realizing we had that connection. And for making, sometimes you get in an Uber and you don't feel all that comfortable. That was a cool drive. I'm like, I just need to hire him every single time.
Okay. Awesome. Good. Awesome. Anyone else? No? Okay. Cool. Birthdays. So this month we've got, who's here? Jacqueline? Get up here, we need you.
Take the spotlight.
Yeah, sure, why not? Do whatever.
We don't have a popper.
Are we lighting that? There's a lighter right here, so are we lighting it right now?
Let's get the popper.
We're doing that?
Everybody.
Are these supposed to light?
The pinata candle is so cute.
Are we lighting all of them?
Oh, that doesn't.
Hi, how are you?
They look like sparklers.
They don't look like cows or something. Maybe not sparklers. They are going to sparkle. Are we good?
Okay, let's sing.
1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jacqueline. Happy birthday to you.
You got it more. Whoa. Stop it.
I love this tiny pinata.
Is that the Fortnite news on it? Yeah. Somebody took a little bite off the side.
Looks cool. All right, moving on. Property pitches. Does anybody have any property pitches they'd like to get done, or we could just have Steve come up here and you go for it, Steve. Steve. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Steve.
There you go. Okay, so I've got a few I just want to keep you guys aware of. We have a property coming next week in Alpine. This house is so cool. There's an ADU down below, 3-bedroom, 3-bath up top ADU. It's almost 2 acres, right? Close to 2 acre property, 1.2 million. Photos are next week. It'll be live next week. Check it out. It's a really cool, unique property. Joe, please quiet. Thank you. Then we have coming in La Mesa on Howell Drive. This is a 3-bedroom, 3-bath condo, 1,444 square feet. It'll be totally renovated. These pictures are already, shouldn't have put these up here, but they're fully renovated and it's gonna be really beautiful. 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,400 square feet, 769.9. That'll be ready probably in about 2 weeks. If you have any buyers for any of these, you can always reach out to me and I'm happily to show them to you guys ahead of time, make you look awesome by having off markets. That's really the goal. Do we have another slide?
How big is the lot?
This one?
Alpine, yeah.
Alpine is almost 2 acres.
Is the ADU permitted on Alpine?
The ADU is
Will be in the seller disclosure.
yes, there will be permitted seller disclosure. There's also areas to make. Way to buzzkill. Yeah, Bob. You can also add 2 other ADUs to the place if you want, RV parking, all that. This property I have on the market just went on the market this past week. We already have an offer on it. It's contingent, so we're not accepting it super quick. Mills Act is in place. If you don't know what the Mills Act is, please look it up because you should know that, and it's a really great tax advantage. This is a really great property. We are just over asking.
What's the cross street?
Juniper area, Juniper 6 in Old Escondido. It's a really great property. Also has an ADU permitted. And then what else? On the market, we have a triplex in University Heights, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. That is listed now at just over $2 million, totally brand new from the ground up. If you guys know the bridge that connects Hillcrest to University Heights, it's right in that cul-de-sac there. So for an investment purpose, these rents here are combined over 10 grand a month. So it's a really good investment property.
What's the parking like?
Street parking, and then there's 1 driveway as well, and then there's 2 storage units as well. And then lastly, coming soon on my team, this is a brand new project that will be finished in probably 2 weeks in Bay Park. 2.2 million, great views. This is a really cool property. I don't know the bed bath count, but I think it's 3 or 4 bedrooms. Yes.
Who do you have doing your remodels?
Either me, mostly me. I always have a project on the side that I do.
Like you physically go and swing the hammer?
No, I just pay people. I can't do any of that, but I can pay people.
So it's not like, because I know there's, some that go through Keller Williams that are available, like Albatross and Hawthorne.
No, so I have either, if it's not my people, it's me, or people that I work with.
Okay.
But I don't
We
usually.
have a few agents that does that. You do too, Joe? Anybody else doing some of their own rehabs?
Irina is.
Yeah, there's always a way to usually keep off markets that are distressed properties in-house, in my opinion, and it's just a really good way to keep the flow going. So this was an off market I think she picked up, and she'll be selling this here shortly. Any other questions? Bring me a buyer, and you guys can see it ahead of time, and it makes you look like you've got off markets, which you do, and that really gives you a lot of street cred for your buyers out there. Okay.
I kind of already thanked them for doing it, for coming in here for the lunch and learn. Again, it was really awesome. So if you guys have any questions about mold or just even asbestos abatement, please reach out to them. This guy seemed really genuine.
Or really bad smell.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
They
I think you told the
handled that
story.
for me in La
I
Jolla.
think you told the story about you.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There's a third-party validation there for us. So and he seemed pretty genuine and extremely
He's great.
knowledgeable.
Wonderful.
Yeah, he's on it. I can tell.
Yep.
All right, cool. Moving on, events upcoming. Let's see what's coming up. Tomorrow, January 15th, in person, 12 p.m. Vision board party. If anybody wants to really get a head start as far as their vision board this year, we're going to all be here in a room at 12 p.m. Come ready, come prepared, bring some magazines, and bring your imagination because we will need it.
Just clarification though, you don't need to bring anything, we pretty much have everything ready for you. If you want to bring extra stuff like photos and magazines, you bring extra, that's fine, but don't feel that you need to bring something.
Awesome. MLK Day is on Monday. We will be closed, so if you show up, you will more than likely be alone here in the office. All right, headshots. That will be taking place. If you need an updated headshot, January 21st from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. I believe that the link that was, or the email that was showing up in the original link sent wasn't working, but just let Ari or Nancy know and they will fill the slot for you. So.
Big shout out to Emily for getting us the photographer level.
Yeah.
So Megan actually contacted me because she wants to potentially cut more deals in office. She did my last listing shoot for free. So I took a chance because it was a condo and I was like, we'll see what happens. And she was phenomenal. Angles are great, lighting is great, her energy is great. So yeah, cannot say enough about her. And I've had some issues lately on the customer service side with my previous photographer. So Megan is my new number one. So you want to meet her, get your free headshot, and then use her for your listing. Yes, I do have her phone number because it's not up there. I will text it to you, Judy. I'll put it on the Facebook group.
Yeah. And again, just email Ari or Nancy. Let's see here. Okay. Bob.
We started our classes again. You guys might have that there yet.
So full house, do this.
Yes, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9:30 in the morning. And this week we've been started speaking about how to have conversations with seniors and what approach to take. So it was a great mastermind, and I think that it's going to continue on for a few weeks. Because it's a really big topic, a really huge group of individuals that are going to be buying homes and selling homes over the next 5 to 10 years, and we all need to really up our game and have those conversations.
We're gonna do a mastermind with Angelica, who's a new agent here at the office, as well as who else was in the room that deals a lot with seniors, on how to speak to them, to get them to list. Because that's
Well, they
the
just
main
have to
thing.
speak to you.
But look for that, because how you speak to a
Commonality.
senior is different than how you speak to a regular seller, because it's much more of an emotional. Amy, you were the one we're gonna ask to be on the panel. Because you deal with
Wait, what?
deal with seniors, so you just don't
You're not
pretend to
talking about
make
the
a
same.
move.
Just to emphasize, there's a new schedule, there's a new Zoom link, so if you go to the old one, it probably won't be working for you. So new schedule, and again, at Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:30.
No, this Zoom's right. This
Is it?
One.
Same Zoom, same Zoom,
Oh, wait!
same Zoom,
Ari?
Mark's is
Ari?
totally same Zoom.
Oh, sorry, the new Zoom link! Sorry about that, there it is. Compliance Edge. No, she's fine. I know that, being in these Compliance Edge classes can be quite riveting sometimes. So please, if you guys have any questions, just know that he's there for you guys. And that's the new Zoom link. I gotta say, Mark is really knowledgeable, and he's there to protect all of us. So any questions, please reach out to him or Broker Bob. Caroline closed her own listing.
Yes, Carolyn closed, this is her first listing, she closed it. It was about a month delayed, you guys, so if you see her, give her a hug, because this lender kind of drug her through the mud. Obviously, she didn't have a choice because it was her listing, but she deserves this one, you guys, so if you see her, give her a hug.
Good job, Alicia.
There we go. Now the fun stuff. Who's excited about AB 723? Who knows what it is? Charlie does. Huh? What I hear?
The digital image one.
Yeah, the digital imaging. You guys got. It's not fair that you answered. These yahoos need to answer because So I sent you out an email on how to follow the rules with SCMLS and CRMLS. It's up to you to learn. I'm not going to teach you because it's pretty comprehensive and there's no way I can speak to it in 5 minutes or less. So make sure you read the email. If you got a new listing and you have a digitally altered, not enhanced, digitally altered photograph, you have to follow the rules with each one of those different MLSs. It's on the rise again. Vacant land scams. Just got off the phone with the DRE, so this is happening again across the state. How do you know you have a vacant land scam? Somebody calls you out of the blue and says, Charlie, I want to list my land, but I don't want to come meet with you. I just want to do everything over the phone. By the way, I don't want to do a Zoom call because I don't want you to see my face. And I can't meet with you. And I want to hire my own notary. those are the first signs as a vacant land scam. So be really careful with them. If anything sounds too good to be true that somebody calls you and says, I want you to list my land, it's probably a vacant land scam, so be aware of that, okay? And then finally, I want to remind everybody about a communication log.
What's that?
What's a communication log? Communication log is everything that's a material fact about your escrow that you're currently in with your buyer or seller, that you back it up in a communication log. Because the first thing that's going to happen if you ever get into a claim, the lawyer's going to ask what question?
Did you memorialize it?
Where is your communication log? And you say, what's that? I've had an agent say that once. What's that? It's everything that's important about the property. And it's not text messages. Because here's what happens. If you get into court and they want to go through your text messages and they have to use communication software to go through and pull out all of your communications via text message, they're not only going to pull out the communication from that between the buyer and seller, they're going to pull out the communication logs for all those people that you've had conversations with that maybe you don't want other people to see, including maybe your wife, your husband, your girlfriend, your boyfriend. So all your Grindr accounts are going to be exposed to the courts, okay? So make sure you're not communicating important stuff on your text messages, because they will find everything you've ever talked about, and all those dirty pictures, Michelle, that you've sent to your husband, wishing him happy birthday, will be exposed to everybody. Okay, that's it.
Are you projecting on us?
Just a tad, just a bit. Moving on.
So you all know, we did, when we went through the lawsuit a couple years ago, that was part of my anxiety, Nancy. I'm like, oh my God, what is Robert gonna have to expose?
That can get intense, so let's avoid that. All right?
All right.
How you doing? How you doing?
So let's talk about some news. Who here heard that President Trump said that someone's going to buy $200 billion worth of mortgage-backed securities? Does anybody know who's going to buy them? No, neither do I. So there is no directive. There's no, he just comes out and says things sometimes, as we all know. And so it actually moved the market in our direction, which is a good thing. Rates have been getting better because we are hoping that $200 billion are going to get bought up, but we just don't know who's going to buy them or when that's going to start. So it's just kind of comical. So I just figured I'd start with something like PPI, CPI, inflation. It's been kind of stagnant, you guys, floating around 3%. And it's kind of moves up and down a little bit. Some months they say it's 2.7, and then 2 months later they revise it to 3%. So but it's right there, right around 3%. So it's not moving the needle as far as pushing the Fed to lower rates anytime soon, because it's not getting down to their 2% that they're trying to keep it at. And a lot of the job reports that are coming out there have been possibly manipulated. We don't know. So again, it's kind of one of those things where these reports are coming out there, and that's what they use to make their decision how to move the market, and they just don't know because they don't have really good data to go off of. So we're kind of seeing that rates are trickling down, which is great. I put, for whoever missed it, who knows who Barry Habib is? Who doesn't know who he is? Let me ask that. A lot of people don't know who he is. I know you know. He's one of the leading economists in the country on real estate and mortgages, okay? And he actually sits on the Fannie Mae board. He spoke to Movement and all of our agent partners the other day, and I was able to download it and post the video on our Facebook page. So I encourage all of you guys to take an hour and listen to what he says, because he literally takes it step by step and breaks down how the market is going to move this year. And he is amazing at predicting what the market does. So take some time to read about it. Last thing, and I'm out of here, Cal Halfa Dream for All. Remember that? Yeah. That was fun, right? It's back. We don't have an exact. We have another 48 hours. We don't know exactly when it's going to open, but it is going to open at the beginning of 2026. So if you have folks that are first generation home buyers, at least one has to be. Both have to be first time home buyers if you're talking about a couple. and they have to be under the CalHFA income limit of $207,000, which is a decent amount. Let's get the ball rolling with them. Let's get them approved so that when the lottery does open, we can get them submitted and to get their name in the hat. All right. Cool. That's all I got. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Just where they have to reapply, right? To both.
What's that?
They were in this bucket last time, they didn't get the lottery, they have to reapply.
They have to reapply. Yeah, because it's applying for a loan, so they're not pre-approving that. They could have been earlier, you know. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, good. We have a couple people to recognize. So we want to recognize Marlon. He was, for 2025, he was our last escrow open. So congratulations for closing out. And in another vein, magic button. Vinny, congratulations. He was our first escrow open in 2025. And then we have one more congratulations to Chris Spade for opening on a luxury level escrow. Congratulations. It's always nice when people open escrow. There's just certain properties and certain deals where you're like, yeah, that's a really good one. So congratulations, Chris. And, okay, we talked about this before. So for those of you that did any time between October and December that you actually did your 411 GPS, actually hosted a session, I hosted a session. If you were at the point where you're like, I know what I want to do, but it's not at a point where I feel like it's actionable, and I don't wake up every morning knowing exactly what it is, but I have some stuff on paper. Actually has offered to do one-on-one consultations. So if you have something on paper already, you can take one of those appointments with that QR code. I'll post this up on Facebook tomorrow, but because you're here in the room, you get first dibs because there's only 4 spots. It's 10 to noon. So if you want it and you're in the room and you have something on paper, you just need to get it even more finite and clear. Ashley has 4 spots open. If you don't have something on paper and you're like, but I thought about it over the holidays and I know what it is, but I need help getting it on paper, you can book one of my 4 spots. So it's January, you would put the date somewhere, 27th from 10 a.m. to noon, and they're half-hour spots. So if you want that and you want to grab it while we're in here, cool. Otherwise, I will post this on the Facebook page tomorrow so other people can grab them. So I'll give you guys a second to do that. Any questions on 411 GPS? I'm just letting people scan codes, buying time. It's my birthday next week. I think everyone wants to celebrate with me. Okay, you got QR codes that needs them? Okay, next slide. This will go up at 2:35 p.m. today. This will post on Facebook. We got some feedback that you guys were liking just having templates that you could just rip down and put up on your social media. So I pulled days on market for the 4 cities that popped up the most in December in escrow partners. So average days on market for El Cajon, La Mesa, Santee, and San Diego, they're all zip codes. So if a city had more than 1 zip code, when I pulled it up in SDMLS, this is the entirety. And this is just what the average was. Not median. I normally pull median for the other stats that we do, but this is average days on market for the entirety of that city. So this will go up at 2:35. Feel free to download it. Just add your name, DRE, and contact info. It's formatted for Instagram or Facebook stories. And then the only other thing I'll add, and then I'll pass everything over to Ashley, had a really good mastermind. I think you guys know Sarah and I are on the same mastermind every Wednesday morning. Sarah's doing a thing where she's encouraging everybody to reach out to their database using the DTD2, which basically just means there's certain letters each week that you call. This week it's B and E. I was telling her that one of my problems is I feel weird and awkward. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. So one of the things that I was talking to Eddie about is right now on escrow side, we're seeing refis up. And we were talking about that they're up 40% last week. So if you don't know what to talk about, realize that a lot of your friends in your database may not realize that rates have dropped. A lot of them do if they were the people that were in the market looking to buy. They're aware because they're hearing the news. But if it's somebody that bought a couple of years ago and they're at a rate and they didn't realize it was time to refi, that's a great thing to have a conversation just to keep yourself top of mind so that if they then have a friend or someone else who wants to buy, you're the person they think of. So that's my little tidbit if you're looking for something to tell your database. Refis are up. Call your people, see what they need, so they think about you. Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, scoop. Who has the clicker? Or are you gonna click for me?
I took off with it.
Thank you.
Some extra exercise.
All right, so here we go. This was a little bit I know last year, you may remember, I complained about stats in January because I decided to redo all of our price points because our market had moved so much. Remember me bitching about that? Well, luckily I didn't have to do that this year, but something came up. I think I found out last Thursday and then started having conversations with SDMLS then. How many of you know, or have known before I say this, that Zillow owns 10K InfoSparks?
Oh, they do.
I don't.
That's one thing I learned. And about 25 slides into this, I made a very snide remark that a lot of the stats that I pull through 10K InfoSparks are about as accurate as estimates. The estimates?
No, you don't right.
Well, so what I'm gonna say, and I hadn't decided until literally sitting here, going forward, starting next month, I'm not going to use it at all. But that means I'm gonna have to recreate a lot of the data. Pain in the butt. But I can't trust it. And luckily, they were able to fix a couple of things, but they created other issues. And I didn't find that out until last night. So what we have here is as accurate as the data would allow me to have, but it may change significantly next month. Just FYI.
So are you saying that the reports they put out each month aren't accurate from SCR?
That is exactly what I'm saying. And now I've bitched about the fast stats in the past, and that they're, who cares? But when you actually go to see how they're pulling the data, and I talked to Saul about it over the weekend, because it's Zillow, he has no control other than to tell him it's inaccurate. Whatever they did to change fields and download timestamps screwed up everything. So, yes, that's what I'm saying. So I'm grateful that I do pull them the way I pull them, because the first set of maybe 12 slides is absolutely accurate. The others are going to have a margin of error that we can't control. All right, so 90 days from today is National Gardening Day, which I picked because I love to garden. How many of you do any kind of gardening? I just got a side-eye look from Jacqueline. Raise your hands again. Why do you do it?
Peaceful, it's fun.
I don't like paying so much for herbs.
What herbs are you talking about?
Those too, but
it is an awesome pastime, and I would just always encourage to do it. As a realtor, here's a tie-in that is amazing. If you don't know about growing plants, for most seeds that you plant, most are a 60 to 90 day window to maturity. It's the exact same as your real estate business. So if you go home and you plant some seeds and you can tie that to, am I doing my activities today? As you see the seed grow, because you'll see it grow within 2 or 3 days, you won't see your real estate business grow that fast, but you can mark time with that. Does that make sense? It's kind of a thing I've realized over the last few years. I'm like, this makes it easier to get to that next quarter because I see the plant growing. I know that's happening in my business. I just can't see it. Yeah, it's it. All right. Okay, so this is a slide I may discontinue doing forward. I just want you all to realize we systematically shifted in the San Diego real estate market somewhere between 22 and 23. Look at the difference in listed numbers and sold numbers compared to any year prior to 23. Look at the number of expireds in 25. Wow. That's fun. When I get to the absorption rate slide, that's really 36% of our listings taken expired last year. When I break it down by price point, it gets really crazy. Yes, ma'am.
Does that include ones that expired and then come back on the market?
What it does, the only way I can pull it is to pull everything that was listed. So that was 32,529. They could have been relisted, but 32,529 properties were listed, and 11,883 of those listed expired. They could have been relisted.
Yeah.
But
it's still, that's
still
the case
that
with all
number.
the years, so it's still relevant.
Yeah, but look, I mean, the percentage is dramatically different than other years. All right, so KW Metro highlights. So these numbers are through December 31st, so it's all of 2025. We closed almost $488 million in real estate. Good job, guys. It's a lot of real estate. 498 units. Could we have not just squeaked out 2 more?
They pushed.
It was the plan. We took 439 listings and we sold 265. So a lot of the listings we took will sell this year, right? Because this is, okay. Contracts written for the whole year were up $34 million over the year prior. That's cool. Listings closed were up 16%. Contracts written just for the month of November were up 55%. So if you were around last summer and you were paying attention, we had the slowest summer on record in San Diego real estate. Then, boy, did we start picking up steam in October, November, and December. And that shows you, November, things really started to pick up in comparison to the previous year. We're still feeling that, by the way. So we had this, and you'll see it, we had this lull last summer, but the trajectory now is good. 86 more listings taken than 2024, just in the month of November. All right, detached just the other morning. This just gives you a snapshot of what our current inventory is like. It's lower than it was in December. That's typical. In terms of active inventory, new listings, pretty much all the activity, our low is almost always January. People are coming off the holidays, and then we start to pick up in February. Okay, so our available inventory numbers are down, as they should be, and for condos. What does that mean for your buyers, by the way? If you have, how many of you have active buyers right now? Okay, so when our inventory levels are 7 to 10% off what they were in November and December, what does that mean for your buyers?
Less competition. Well,
There's
Less
less
choice.
inventory, yeah.
Less
prices,
choice, probably more
more
competition.
Better prices though?
Could be, depending on how long somebody's been on the market, they could be more motivated. But when the inventory levels go down, you have the same pool of buyers competing for whatever's there. So it tends to be more competition. Could be higher list price to sales price ratios because your buyers have less negotiating room. Okay, so overall through the year, we ended up only listing 5%, a little more than 5% more listings than the previous year. That was surprising to me because there were months in the year we were way above 2024, but it kind of smoothed out. We just had a 5% gain in new listings. And we ended the year selling 2% fewer than the year previous. So we have more potential inventory if it didn't expire and it is coming back on than we've had in a while. Okay. So this adds a little perspective, not just on the expired, but also on the canceled and withdrawn. I did this last month and I had asked you if it gets withdrawn, does it end up canceling? And you all told me yes, so I switched the percentages around, took that out.
It would switch to expired, not canceled.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. Thank you. But our absorption rates with those numbers are still pretty darn solid.
Is it always absorption rate the opposite as the off-market percentage?
No, so absorption rate is taking the number of listings that we brought to market, basically divided by the solds. How many of the listings are actually selling?
Right.
I don't take off markets into consideration in that. That's why I started to break it up this way, so you can see. So the numbers now on each line, I adjusted from how I did this last month, and the see where it says 43.31% of listed expired? Last month, if you look at the slideshow, I took all of the categories of off-market into that percentage. That wasn't legit. This is now legit. So it's literally in the above $5 million category. Out of the 748 listings that were listed, 324 of those specific properties canceled.
Expired.
So, I'm sorry, yes, expired, 38.63%. Almost 40%. Does that surprise anybody? Because it really surprised me.
It seems like a lot.
It's a lot. Now, to answer Lynn's question earlier, I don't know how many of those relisted.
Yeah.
It kind of is irrelevant just in that 40%, nearly 40%.
And so
Expired.
this is through December 10th, this slide is saying?
No, I didn't, that
Oh,
actually
you're
should
right,
be
that says
January
3.
11th. I don't know why I didn't switch. I will update that. All of these, the date I pulled them were January 11th.
Do a lot of people, and this is kind of for the agents, do they expire their listing on like 12/31 and do a new one on January?
They might, but I could see the numbers per month and it wasn't that extreme.
Okay, just curious as to why that happened, yeah.
Now, it does make sense to me that the higher the price, the higher that percentage of expires is, but they're all higher than I would anticipate.
I mean, even when you're looking at over $1 million, it's still 25%.
Yeah.
That's significant. 1/4 of all houses.
1/4. So and I'm still formulating this, as I'm getting comfortable with those numbers, I'm thinking, all right, I always tell you if you have too many days on market, if you're over the median time, you have to drop your price. Well, obviously, these people aren't doing that. So what do you think as a group of active agents, how do you let that happen at, let's call it 30% average of the time that your listings are expiring?
False promises.
You don't know how to
Tom, that's a
guide
great
your
answer.
client. You took
I'm not saying there's a right or wrong answer. I'm very curious what you think. So false promises.
My ego's like, they're not our listings. They're
not our listings. I'll tell you that because we know, I mean, I don't know the exact number. I know we don't have anything close to that.
Well, it's still, I mean, there's still gonna be that element of 80% of the agents fail out after 2 years. They don't know how to price yet.
Okay, so not understanding how to price in the current market conditions,
Right.
over-promising, under-delivering. But now you got the listing. Let's say you've taken it for 3 months, which is the absolute minimum you should take a listing for. How do you get to 90 days and not have a conversation to adjust the price?
Well, I think you do, but you expire it and you open it with a new price, but it's a new one, so your days on market's reset. At least that's in my market.
Okay.
It
Fair.
just happened.
Fair.
They all reset. The 3 that were on the market forever in this one little community.
Yeah, I think it's the days on market is just up, but you're seeing that strategy play out more and more often.
Because more are on for longer days on market.
So
do any of you have a way to see what's
after
realistic?
180 days, it's
Yeah,
not
you
that
just go
common
history.
anymore.
And look
It's
it
like
up,
30
not
days
one
ago,
by
it's
one,
fine.
in mass. I can't go to.
I can't look at that in mass, I don't think.
Anybody know if there's a search you could do that would show you what relisted in a given year? Not having to go one by one.
No, right? Just individually.
Who had a hand up?
I think Sarah had shown us a way to look up ones that have price reductions.
Yeah, that I can find out, but
yeah,
that,
not realistic.
I can't, unless somebody wants a job for free to go and click every listing.
Ew.
All right, so that was kind of a wake-up call. This is a number I'm gonna be tracking every month. I have a sense, other than strategically repositioning, I think our expireds will be significantly less this year, because yet last year was still an adjustment year. There was a big component of, I don't know how to price in this market. Now we've normalized, hopefully normalized a little bit. That also throws off, by the way, the listing versus sales price ratio, because those are still high. Those are 96.5% to 99%. Well, of the 2/3 that actually sold. Okay, this shows you that in every price category, we listed more property than we did the previous year, actually previous 2 years. Is that good, bad?
That's good.
That's good.
More choice. We probably expired more too. Just the last 2 years combined, and Emily, I will update all those dates. They're all January 11th. So,
Is your chart, I can't see the bottom, is it per year or per property type?
this is per year.
9.
So
Okay.
listed is 24. I'm sorry, yellow is 24.
Okay.
Blue is 25. Ugh. You left your lighter and your knife, Nancy. Sold. So interesting.
Interesting.
What's interesting?
Just
Less
every
sold.
price point, it's less sales this year than.
Except for
The 1.5.
1.5 to 2 and
Okay.
3 to 5.
Okay, yeah.
Technically under.
So thank you for saying that. Now, we listed more in every single price point.
Yeah.
We sold more only in those two, and it was pretty close on the 2 to 3 million.
Yeah.
So with what is happening in our overall economy, here's my supposition on this. It's hitting people who have less money much harder than it's hitting people who have money. Yes? So one of my projections, which is the last 2 slides, is that we will actually see greater gains in the luxury, which now I would call 1.5 to ultra luxury. We'll see gains there this year, for sure. But we'll probably still see contraction on the bottom end. Because the disparity between the have and the have-nots is just growing, and it's growing very, very fast. And every indicator I have is that the policy decisions that are being made are going to accelerate that even more. And the other part of these people is most of these people are selling property with equity that allows them to then purchase in this category. So if you're not even in the market yet and you don't have any, how are you buying?
And that 658 is condos, campo,
Yeah.
everything, right?
Yeah. Our entry-level market now, there.
Do you think that's gonna be done at the end of
I
the
think
year?
it's going,
Under 4?
that's a great question. It's gonna be close to done just because there's not that many. But the people who are buying that up, it's gonna change. It's gonna be more investors, speculators. Because what first-time home buyer can get into that? The number, and I'm sure it'll refine as we get more data through January, but the number of first-time home buyers reported for 2024 was nationally 17%. Nationally, first-time home buyers. What do you think that was in San Diego? And there, by the way, there's no data source that will give me that. But I would say probably 12 to 14%.
Of the buyer pool are first-time home buyers?
Yeah. Of all the buyers in 2024, yeah. Now, does anybody know what traditionally that is? Like traditionally prior to COVID? 30 to 40%.
And the age has gone up significantly.
And the age is, yeah,
We're
the
now
first-time home buyer isn't
over
25 anymore, it's 45.
Was it 45 now?
No, it's
40 to
not
45.
Yeah. But it's still, it's not. It's not
Well,
yet.
but it makes sense because look how much money you need to get in the market. Just things to be aware of. Now, strategically, if we're saying this is going to be a more challenged part of the market, maybe your focus should be current owners. There's a lot of our agents that have made a career on first-time home buyers, but now that 30% of people is 12%. You gotta make up the unit somewhere. All right, active as of, look at the dates right. So I just want you to kind of eyeball it. The next month is December and the next is November. So I'm gonna go back and forth on houses. How many do we have, 950 and 1.5?
620.
Okay, last month,
Oh.
850.
last month.
Oh.
All right, so what happens, this is just what happens, from the fourth quarter going into the first month of the year, inventory drags down. That's all this is, it's what should happen. If that didn't happen, something else would be going on. Same thing for condos, so that's condos in January, December, November. But it goes to the argument that right now is more competitive for buyers than it was in November or December. And we'll start to see new inventory coming in February, and then it'll ease up, they'll have more choice. Okay, here we go. Here's the, y'all probably missed this because you had to click a link in that CMOS. But I put this here, just new listings was one of the categories impacted in the InfoSparks. So this was Saul's message to say after we talked, oops, it's not working. Active listings, so those are two different things. New listings and active listings, I couldn't pull. How important are those two numbers? So I did go and do the hand search to include townhomes and condos, because that's really the only big difference. Pendings were accurate. So, pendings in the month of December, how were they compared to the last 2 years?
Higher.
Yep, so it is higher, just moderately, but it's in the right trajectory. So I feel like we've come through, again, that gully, and now in 2026, we should start to see slightly more sales. Slightly. I'm gonna pause here for a minute. Besides Joe Fair and Ed, how many of you look up any other projections for the year? Yeah, Luis? So it's very interesting. And we'll know more what Gary thinks next month when we're at family reunion. But most of the time, all the big prognosticators are kind of on the same page. So NAR, CAR, Real Trends, Realtor.com, Zillow, Redfin, like they almost always are on the same page because we have access to the same data. The world's a little different now. So what Ed was alluding to, that our data points are squishy, it's probably the most diplomatic way to say it, is true. And there's a lot of people who are kind of trying to pull stuff out and go, this is what I think is going to happen. Because the data, a lot of the data we have, we can't rely on. So what's interesting, and this is just a warning to everybody, to check your data sources. Many of you have heard me say, if somebody tells you they know exactly what's going to happen in the next year or two, they're lying, because we don't. Our National Association of Realtors has put out projections for this year that, I should have thought about how to say this diplomatically.
Don't worry about
That
it.
echo all of the talking points coming out of a big white house. And they have put in writing that they anticipate that our sold units will be going up by 14 to 17%.
That's bullshit.
And that rates will be coming down below 6. And that employment is and wages are both on the rise. None of that is true. Just so you know, what data we do have before things were shut down is that unemployment is up, wages are down, AI is already having an impact. So that piece we can put aside. We don't know what's going to happen with the Fed, and honestly, if you're not keeping an eye on that, you got to keep an eye on that, because we will have a new Fed chair in
May.
2 months, 3 months, and the person that might go in there, likely is going to go in there, is going to be under a lot of pressure to lower rates. And if they respond to that pressure, it's more than the interest rates that's going to be impacted, it's going to be the entire confidence in the US dollar. So our rates may go down, but if the rest of the world says, oh, we can't trust the US anymore, we're going to have other issues. Okay, so it's a complicated time. Now, as to the 14% more housing units sold, don't know. Everybody else is saying 2 to 4%. I think in San Diego, because we've been so depressed, we'll probably see 5 to 7%. But that's just based on where we've come from, because so many people have held back the last 4 years, really. Something's got to give.
Has Zillow explained what's happening with InfoSparks, why the data is not available? Or is
No,
that
so what they do, and I'll try to explain it a little bit more, all Zillow does is they have a computer program that goes into MLSs. And it has an algorithm and it pulls specific data points and mapped fields. They change their mapped fields, and I don't know what got wonky, but whatever their date stamp for downloading information is, changed. So I didn't know this till this morning. I went back, and I can show you guys this at another time, but what all this data is, you know I'm only showing back to 2020, but I have it back to 2007. And in InfoSparks, I've been pulling it for years, so you can pull down a CSV for whatever you're searching for, and it literally just gives you the month and the number. So if it's new listings, it'll be, December 1st, 2022, and a number for whatever property type. Well, when you download that, if I go back to 2007, what's 12 times 22?
Oh, a lot.
It's a lot. So the spreadsheet is very, very, very long. And I've been compiling that for years. The two things that InfoSparks has done recently is they no longer have it any farther back than 2020. That's as far back as you can go with data, which is nuts. So luckily, I historically have it. So I pulled back to 2020 for all of these categories and put it next to the ones that I've been compiling for. They are so far off. So whatever data set they have now, going back to 2020, is corrupt. Wow. And I don't think they know when something's that technical, and this is, obviously impacting thousands of MLSs across the country, they don't know exactly what they did. All I know is I can't trust the data anymore. And likely, they're pulling SDMLS's data, and that is influencing their estimates. It's the only data source we have. So, could be one of the reasons his estimates are so.
When did Zillow purchase them?
I didn't ask him when. Probably a while. I just found out.
Okay.
But not just InfoSparks, Fast Stats too.
They own Fast Stats too?
They own Fast Stats too. Which is why I've always been frustrated, because it's always crappy data. Well,
Now we know why.
now we know why. And I'm so glad it's recorded. It just doubles, again, in this national environment, I'm gonna go to the source as often as possible and not take somebody else's word that it's a data source. So it's more work, but at least I can trust it. So here's our sold listings. They're off a little bit of last year, but again, overall, we're in the right trajectory. Look how different the numbers are. They're half of what they were in 2020. So this is what we get to make money on. Half of what it was just 5 years ago in a pandemic year. There's your systematic change. So this is solds. And the thing that should be striking is our highest months are just slightly higher than the lowest months for the history of San Diego real estate. What does that mean to any of you in here?
It's called a lock-in effect.
Lock-in effect.
Be nice to your clients.
There's a lot that goes in here. So Ed says lock-in effect. So a lot of these people have 2 to 3% mortgages and they don't want to move. They don't want to lose that, right? So it halves our available inventory to sell and buy. Affordability plays into this too.
Well, the reason I said be nice to your clients is they were talking about people tend to hang out with people that are in the same financial sphere as themselves.
Yep.
So if you are really nice to your clients and you get ingratiated in their group of friends of 5, there's probably someone else that can afford to buy because you already proved that there's one. So being even more of service to the people that can.
So I'm going to say that, yes, you're right. I'm going to say it in another way that I've been coaching. So is it fair to say, very visually easy to see, there's a lot less people involved in here? Yes. So the population of buyers and sellers has contracted. It's in half of what it was. So if we apply the 6 degrees of separation, this smaller group of people probably has more interconnectivity than this much larger group of people. So the more you're talking to your people, the more likely they're going to be able to refer you to the other people who are in that smaller group. Does that make sense?
I was just trying to check the source because now I realize I forwarded it to you and didn't check it. But with what Ed just said, did you get the email where I said like there's now more 6% mortgages
Yes.
than 3%? There's still 4s and 5s, of course, but is that accurate right now?
Yeah, that's accurate, and it's going to continue because over time it's just what happens.
Yeah.
But I think what I love, and Barry Habib might have talked about it, the reason that would be the case is because people have needed to refi because they've been waiting. They've needed to pull their equity out to survive on, is my guess. How many of you have a rate that's 2.5% to 3%? Unless your back was totally against the wall, would you refi for 6%?
No.
No, but people are doing it because they have to, and it's that waiting. I mean, people have equity.
Yeah. I just didn't know that was part of what. I mean, it makes sense it's part of the reasoning. But.
So I have a little post-it note on my computer, but I think it's something like 92% are under 6%. 92% of all mortgages are under 6%.
Oh.
And it's like 80-something is under 5%. And then it was, I forget exactly, but I'll take a picture of it.
So you guys get together because that's totally different.
Yeah, this is.
But I've heard the same thing you've heard.
For most, right, but that's all mortgages, right? So 92% of all mortgages
Oh,
are
like
under 6%.
DSCR, all investment.
Yeah, and those mortgages only became popular in the past couple of years.
Sure.
When rates were elevated, so.
Okay.
All right, keep going. So the median is up over last year by 50 grand. The average is up just slightly, about 80 grand. 1.3, just the month of December. Came down, but it's still up over last December. This shows the 5-year growth trajectory. We're averaging 7.4% gain a year. I actually think it will be lower than that in 2026. I think we may see 4 to 6% gain. Anyway,
Can you go back to median, sorry, just for a sec. Okay, thanks.
What was it? What was the median? I'm sorry.
Y'all get this. 685 for condos, 150, 1.5, I'm sorry, 1,050,000 for houses. Average median market time in December was up, but still not at our apex. Nowhere near where we were in the craziness of 21, 20. So nuts. Months of available inventory. This also got screwed up on the fast stat, so I had to pull it by hand. But pretty healthy actually for January. Now, what will happen is we get more listings in February. What do you think happens to buyer activity also? It picks up. It picks up. So typically, when we're at this time of the year, we'll have some buildup of inventory, but it will get absorbed pretty quickly. Okay. The reason we see that is because escrows are no longer under 30 days. They're longer escrow periods. So we see the uptick in inventory, it holds for about a month and then it comes back down. Average list price to sales price is still really, really healthy. And now you have to factor in, on top of these, there's another 30 to 40% of properties that expired. Yeah. So that's probably artificially high, considering all the listings that expired and then came on maybe a little bit lower. Price per square foot up. All right, now, fast stats. Owned by who? So all the data that's in these is the same data that's in 10K info sparks that is corrupted. I'm going, from this month going forward, I'm not gonna include these, because I don't wanna have to go back and data check everything. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
This one I read it highlighted in red, because we just went through a whole bunch of the numbers. What is, market-wide inventory levels were down 50.6%. Are our inventory level, this is about San Diego's market, are our inventory levels down by 50%?
No.
You saw the data. Property type with the smallest decline was the condos, townhomes segment.
That's not the end of the month.
Where they decreased 44.5%. Condos, townhomes actually went up.
Yeah, it was down.
Okay, that amounts to 0.8 months supply. We just saw we have 1.9 or 2.2 months of supply. So all that is automatically generated by the crappy data they got. I wanted you guys just to see it, and this is where I got snarky.
But you're also saying corrupted file, not corrupt file. Like, not that they're being
No,
corrupt. The
but-
file itself is corrupted.
Yes, the data feed is corrupted.
Right.
But we
Just
can't,
to clarify.
I don't want to speak for you, expect a company that big with that many MLS relationships to give a shit about what's happening here.
Yeah.
And we have to care. So I'm not going to put this in front of you anymore. 2026 forecast in 2 minutes. Key concerns for the year. So what I'm keeping my eyes on constantly, instability and unpredictability at the local, state, national, and global level. It's a lot to keep your eyes on. But what we know is people don't make huge financial moves if they're scared or uncertain. Is buying a home or selling a home a big financial move?
Yeah.
So unless their pain of staying in the same place outweighs the fear of the unpredictability, people aren't moving. So that's part of the other lock-in effect. And any day, because one person says something that, how many billions of securities are supposed to? 200 billion? I mean, that's just what he says Friday. Who knows what Tuesday's gonna bring? And it makes people go, wait a minute. The post that came out that he's gonna prohibit investors from buying property, No way. Number one, he can't just say that. I mean, he can say, he can't just make it happen. They would have to go through a legislative process.
What's that?
How many big investors are gonna say, yeah, we're okay with, it's not gonna happen. And even if it did, by the way, it's 1% to 2% of our market, it's not gonna make a tremendous impact, but it's a great talking point and sounds good politically. Impacts of AI, nobody's talking about this at the level they need to be. We're already seeing it in employment. There are a lot of low and mid-level jobs disappearing because of AI. And we're in the early stages of it. So how is unemployment going to be impacted going forward, especially with jobs that are fairly white collar?
Yeah.
It's more the white collar jobs that are predicted to be impacted, which is who? Our buyers, than the lower level jobs. Consolidation of companies because of that. Energy costs are going up, primarily because these data centers cost so much. And there are projections that we will have to have community-wide blackouts by 2027 because there's not enough energy to produce the AI power needed. So different communities where these AI centers will have to have 3 to 4 hours a day where the residents don't have power. Yeah, you all should start reading about this a little bit. But then the investment opportunity there, because it's still a new fledgling opportunity, people are making a ton of money on the bet that this is going to take over the world. Affordability and employment, what are interest rates going to do? I think they're going to stay right around 6, maybe a little bit up, a little bit down, no massive changes. And if they do massively change, if we get a Fed chair in there that brings them down to 3, he's going to cripple the rest of the economy, so it won't matter. Unemployment, underemployment, and wages. Again, AI impacts. If a paralegal lost their job, which a lot of paralegals are losing their job, what do? They start driving an Uber, and they're underemployed. How are they gonna, and where are they gonna replace that job? We're not talking about that yet. We're gonna have to. Federal policy, again, as the winds change, who knows? But it's the uncertain and the key concerns we need to look at. Inflation, deflation, recession, and depression. Again, Fed policy and tariffs are going to impact that. I don't want to advise anybody to start watching news, but it is probably going to be more impactful to you professionally this year than it ever has been. So you can rely on some of us to bring you info and not get down the rabbit hole yourself. It's important.
So can you suggest like the top few places that people should be reading or watching?
No, we can't say
It's a great question.
Oh, Lord. No, it is a great question.
I don't wanna.
Follow news from outside the United States. Who's that?
I would. Oh my God, John Fields. I would. This is my honest. Knowing a lot of you are like me and you're empathetic and like this could drive you nuts. Just look at the financial news channels. Stay away from the cultural politics. It's hard to, but go for people who are just talking about the economy.
Yeah.
That's my suggestion.
I'll say I get like the Biz Now newsletter. It's kind of commercial, but it's literally just what's happening with big businesses and what's going on. And no drama. I get a lot of insight from that. So it's for you to sign up for it.
Biz Now.
It's BISNOW.
What I will say, if you haven't been paying attention, there are a lot of moves being made in these media companies, and a couple of the sources that I would typically lean on within the last 45 days have been completely corrupted.
Listen to Kai Rizzo at 3 o'clock on Marketplace on NPR. He breaks it down to understand the economy very simply. And he interviews a lot of small business owners and how our global economy is having an effect on their small business throughout. He breaks it down very simply.
Thank you.
All right. Housing availability. So I did listen this morning. Housing starts are going to be down. Housing starts meaning a developer says, I'm buying this land this year and I'm going to start the process of developing. They anticipate that's going to be down in 26. But new housing sales will actually be up because there's all this existing inventory that has come the last couple of years. This is not San Diego, this is nationally. So the numbers will look good in the new building industry because the current inventory is gonna sell. But if they're not starting new homes now, what is that forecast for the next 3 to 4 to 5 years? Another housing shortage. So there's nothing that is happening systematically to help us actually fix the problem, which is we don't have enough housing units.
There's 8,500 approximately going to be built in San Diego County this year.
Most of those are not for sale units, though. They're multifamily units.
Yeah, that's what, I mean, homes being built is what the supplies are.
So I was watching the other night, I think it was Channel 39, and.
Worst station. I'm just kidding.
Didn't you used to work there?
Yes.
I was gonna say.
They went downhill after you left, Chris.
Went to shed.
Let them know.
What the story was about was the pushback from neighborhoods and their city council people to the mayor, Todd Gloria, because I believe it was the Claremont Bay Ho area has been, the new plan has, and my heart almost stopped. The new development plan for that residential neighborhood, 36,000 additional housing units in Claremont Bay Ho, which we need the units. Where the hell are they gonna go? And where are they gonna park? And how are our roads going to make, so, yeah. So they passed it, and now the residents are like, what? And so now they're trying to rescind it. Stuff doesn't really get rescinded by the time it gets passed. So at some point in the future, there's gonna be another 30,000 units.
17 unit ADUs in the back of people's yards.
Yeah, so that goes into my 1F. People with equity or means will be moving out of the congested areas, San Diego wise, to more suburban areas, and maybe even further out. Because if you've lived in Claremont and you've had a nice third of an acre property, and now your neighbor has 7 people living in tiny homes, your quality of your life just changed, and you're probably gonna wanna move. So that's my conjecture, but I think that's gonna happen, and just to be aware of. So how do you come up with different opportunities for that consumer? Okay, so sales will increase in San Diego County 3 to 5%, just based on where we've been the last 4 years. Prices will increase 4 to 6%. Number of agents will decrease. So at the end of March, we'll know what we lost in 2025. I think we'll that end of March number, I think will be 25 to 30% less than it was last year. Because again, to get into the mentality of that person, we've been in a real estate recession for 4 years. Would you all agree with that? In San Diego. How often do you have to renew your licenses?
Every 4 years.
So in that time frame, there's been a lot of agents that have been coming up for license renewal, which is totally different than your dues. It's easier to do your dues, right? By the way, anybody else have a heart attack when they paid them this year?
Yeah.
Yes. So, and you all renewed them. How many people do you think went 700 nope, not this year. Because I haven't closed anything in 3 years. Or now I have to sit in for 45 hours, which I had to do the last week of December. 45 hours to, you know what, I haven't sold anything, I'm not gonna do this again. So I think we'll lose that 25 to 30% this year, 25 to 26, and then 26, I think we'll lose another 15%. My opinion, entry-level and mid-price homes will struggle. I showed that earlier, because that consumer is going to be hit by this rough economy much harder than the people with equity or who are wealthy. And we'll begin to see more affordable housing options. 30,000 unit. They're going to be more affordable, but it's going to displace the people now who have means because they have equity to move further out. Cool?
Yeah.
Nationally, rates will remain around 6%. Building a new homes will see a resurgence. What is already entitled, not new entitlement to be built in the future. Political talk will muddy the waters and lead to uncertainty. Areas that rely on tourism will continue to suffer and prices will continue to drop. This is Florida, Austin, Palm Springs, because people aren't traveling as much and foreign travelers coming in are really down. Vegas is a ghost town. If you want to go to Vegas and have a good time, now's the time because nobody else is in. And lawsuits may, that's what I'm going to end with. Lawsuits may result in new practices. If you didn't see it,
Yeah.
it appears, although it hasn't been proven yet, that the judge in the big NAR
Lawsuit.
what was it, $418 million? Gary Keller paid out $70 million. It appears that the judge just copy and pasted the plaintiff's motion and used that for his decision.
It was the paralegal.
It could have been the paralegal. If they find that that's the case, they will set that entire side thing apart, and all that money will have to go back to the people who paid it off. That would be awesome for us.
Yeah.
So that literally just broke news 2 days ago, and then Zillow and Compass has been going on for a while. It's going to pick up speed because the Compass transfer and bringing all these other companies was finalized. If you don't know, Compass is exposing Zillow for all their horrible business practices.
So funny.
It is funny, and I don't think Zillow wins this one. So that could be a very good thing for us. Thank you. Lastly, that was the end of the data.
This is fun.
This is good, and if you left, sorry for you. So we have a big goal this year. We have one goal. Everybody remember it? I mean, I'm a little visual. Stephanie, what is our goal?
If everybody caps.
Nope.
No,
No.
if everybody sells
Okay, property. What? Emily has her hand up.
150 agents making $100,000 or more, all of our caps go to $12,000.
It was 50.
No, no
It was
way.
50.
150. It's always been 100.
150?
It's that
Because we have 50 now.
Oh, you have 50 now. Oh, that's
It's right there on the board.
Yeah, so here it is. 150 agents making $100,000 GCI or more, everybody gets reduced to $12,000 cap. Now, on a separate day, I'll show you why that math makes sense, but if we win, if the brokerage wins, you all should win. That's how we win together, okay? In that push, there's a few things we've done. Number one, we committed and signed up and are already in with BrokerBot. You will all be getting training on that. It is super freaking cool. I was gonna wait and commit to it till probably the end of the year, and I thought, no, I can't. You guys need to have this tool. So more to come on that. All this, there's more info to come. We just started 30, 60, 90 again. Luis, Ariana, Nancy, me, Sarah are in it. On Thursdays, the coaches of that program offer a free mastermind call for agents. We'll get you that information too. I will tell you the two guys that lead this, I believe, are the two most brilliant men in Keller Williams. It's free to you, whereas their time is about $1,500 an hour typically. So I would take advantage of that call.
What is it actually?
It will be on the calendar.
We'll also, I didn't tell you this, we'll send out an informational email on each one of these. Don't avoid these emails, because they're tools to help us get to that goal.
What is BrokerBot?
You have to reach.
And one of the coaches is Bridget Potterman's coach. One of the two guys you get access to on Thursdays. Okay? Then Fellow, who's heard of Fellow?
I forget what it is.
I don't even know what.
So Fellow is a CRM program. The two people that probably are more familiar with it than most are Mike and Vinny, because we've had it for a while. We've been working with it a little bit. We have not maximized it. Our goal this year is to allow anybody who wants to be in it and use it to nurture their database will be able to do so. If you were to go buy this, it'd be $800 a month. We can't not give this to you totally free, but I'm thinking it'd be, for anybody who opts in, like $50 a month versus $800.
It's an add-on to plan?
It is not, it's a completely separate company.
So your data has to go into that as well?
Yep. Yeah, well, and we'll do training on it. I will tell you, it's blowing my mind what's possible. You just have to have the time to do it.
And what is BrokerBot, Ashley?
My replacement.
No, there's no replacing you, BB. What are you talking about?
So very quickly on BrokerBot, it was, my understanding initially was, it was a place where you could just call or go on the app and ask a broker question. It is that and so much more. It's a complete AI platform for agents that is specific to real estate, and each of you will have access to an AI assistant that's working for you 24/7. One of the things that will be coming out is we need to name this thing. So Nancy and Ari will be giving you that. But for those of you who have seen it, Robert, what do you think about
Here's
it?
an example. So it has the ability for you to, and it's proprietary, it's safe and secure to do this.
It's ours. It's basically white labeled. It is Keller Williams San Diego
You have a
Metro Broker
listing,
Bot.
and you get 3 offers. You upload the offers, and you tell it to analyze each offer and suggest a seller counter offer to send back to each offer. It'll also go through, if there's corrections that need to be made in the offers that the agents submit, it will go in and clean that up, and it does it lickety-split.
That's one thing, I swear to you. You could be in front of a listing, you can go to Steve's listing and say, hey, this agent just listed this, how much money did they invest in it? It can probably go and pull the last, or not probably, it can go and pull what they paid for it without you ever getting to the inbox.
We just got tired of our calls on weekends.
All right, then and then the last thing, this was just my shorthand of, many of you are in the small coaching groups, whether it's with Robert or Luis or Sarah. That's, in my shorthand, that's your focus group. Then you'll go and you'll do implementation. I'm going to be offering one time a month where we mastermind around implementation of what you're doing. Then we'll do kind of probably crying sessions. So it'll end up being 2 sessions a month opt-in with me, one on implementing, one with, oh, poor you, it didn't work. And then we'll come up with the tactical plan that goes back into the focus with your coaches. Yes?
Back about fellow 2 questions. How does that compare to Command, and is it ultimately going to replace Command?
It won't replace Command because as a Keller Williams agent and a franchisee, we have to use Command. That's how you get paid. That runs all of the operations in the Keller Williams office. In terms of what Fellow does, there's so much more functionality. Command at some point may catch up with it. Right now, I'll give you an example. Right now we have, because we've been lead generating at the brokerage level to try to get you guys more leads, we had, I think, 6,600 records in there. We uploaded them, and within the first 48 hours, it was able to go through every property owner and address and bring back what their mortgage is and what their percentage rate on the mortgage is, just as an example. Then we paid for some other things, and it goes in, and you know how in Command it has the contact record score, your database health score? Well, same time, 48 to 72 hours, it fleshed out 6,600 contact records and pulled all the data in that we didn't have. That's just the first thing.
So that's not Keller Williams proprietary like the broker bot is. Is that?
Well, so the Keller, we are way over, guys. I apologize. You can leave if you need to. BrokerBot is a standalone company that is contracted with different real estate offices or brokerages, and now they basically have created a tool where we upload all of our broker policies, everything that is unique to us, and then that becomes its own AI platform.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it gets smarter as you all use it. It's really awesome. The cool thing for me is the guy who founded that is a former team leader that's a really good friend. When he first reached out to me, I flat out told him no. I said, Robert's never going to allow some piece of technology to answer questions. Because I wouldn't as the broker. But then over like 4.5 months, as we saw it demonstrated and vetted, it's mind-blowing. And again, paid for it. That we're not passing any cost on to you guys. That's just a gift to help us get to that. Cool. All right.